So when we talk about the coordinate geometry, means we have to understand first what exactly the meaning of axis, what the meaning of plane, what the meaning of surface, origin, coordinates, and everything that we have to start from the very beginning. So first, you look the sheet of paper or the surface of the table that in which you are studying, right? You'll find that this is a flat surface, right? Or you can see the screen in front of you. That is also a flat surface, right? So this flat surface we call as simply a plane, right? Now over here, suppose if I'm like taking this as a just I'm marking over here, which is considering as a pure sheet of paper. This is a sheet of paper. This is a sheet of paper. If I'm taking any point at anywhere on this surface, this flat surface sheet of paper, let's say I'm taking over here. So we cannot say anything about this point, where this point is, right? What's the location of this point? We cannot say anything over here. To know the exact location of this, we need to refer some of the things. Let's say if I'm doing one thing, like I'm dividing this plane into two parts by a line, a horizontal line. Now, at least you have, by looking into this line, horizontal line, you can say that, okay, this point is above this line, right? So we have at least some kind of surety that, okay, there is a middle path is there, and that point is just above of this path, right? But still, we cannot say where it is from this line. Above line means from where? From this point, or from this point, or from this point, or from this point. From which point? We cannot say. If someone is telling that, okay, this point is at a distance of 5 units from this line, that this green reference line, so that is either from this point, or from this point, or from this point. We are not sure, right? To avoid that confusion, if we are taking one more line, okay, which is intersecting the previous line, so we can now have a reference. Okay, now if we are having two line which is intersecting at a point, right, from this point we can refer this position of this point, or we can say that, okay, if this point is at a distance of some unit from the horizontal line, and as well as this is at some distance from a vertical lines too. So this distance, when we talk about the distance, it means this is a perpendicular distance, and this is also a perpendicular distance. This particular point is at a distance, some distance from this reference line, this horizontal line, and this vertical line. So this reference line that we are drawing in a plane, in a flat surface, right? That we call as, generally what I said, any flat surface we call as a plane. Any flat surface we call as a plane. Now I have drawn two lines, one vertical line and one horizontal line, which is dividing this plane into four sub-regions, right? So this line that we are referring as horizontal line as x, and vertical line as y. I mean, this is the axis of reference. This is the axis. So this is horizontal line, this is vertical line, or we are calling this as x dash, and this y dash. So because of this reason, we are calling this as xy plane. What we are calling? XY plane, and also we are calling this as a Cartesian plane. What plane? Cartesian plane. Right. Now this Cartesian plane, if we see, this Cartesian plane is also known as rectangular plane because of the properties that you can see that this vertical line and horizontal line are meeting each other at 90 degree. Right. They are intersecting each other at 90 degree. So that Cartesian plane we call as rectangular plane too. What we call? Rectangular plane as well. Okay. So this Cartesian plane is nothing but also known as rectangular plane. Rectangular plane. So I hope this is clear what the meaning of XY plane, what the meaning of rectangular plane, what the meaning of Cartesian plane. These all things is nothing but a surface which is divided into four part with one reference horizontal reference lines, one vertical reference lines. This reference lines we call as what we call as axis. What we call this reference lines we call as reference lines or axis. Okay, the horizontal one we call as x-axis. Horizontal one is x-axis, and vertical one is what? Y-axis. Y-axis. So this horizontal one we call as y-axis, vertical as horizontal one as x-axis, vertical as y-axis, and this you will find that axis of coordinate axis. That means nothing but plural, means we are including both of the axis, x-axis and y-axis. That is the plural form of the axis. Okay. Now you can find that the two line, vertical and horizontal, are meeting at this point. This point we call as origin. What do we call? What do we call? Origin. What do we call? Origin. So origin is what? Origin is what? Point of intersection of vertical axis. Point of intersection of axis. I mean two axes, x-axis and y-axis. X-axis and y-axis. Now this I hope this is clear, right? What exactly the meaning of xy plane? What exactly this Cartesian plane is nothing but xy plane only. Rectangular plane is also this xy plane where the vertical and horizontal axes are meeting at 90 degree. If we have something like this, if we have two axes which is not intersecting at 90 degree, means we have a line, horizontal line like this, and another line is like this. This is also dividing the plane into a region, four region, right. So this is also a reference line, this is also a reference line, and this is the origin, but here the angles is not 90 degree. So this xy plane, this xy plane, xy plane, right, is non-rectangular plane. Okay, these are all you will learn in a higher standard. Okay, just we are figuring out what exactly the meaning of rectangular axis and non-rectangular axis, right? Basically, we have to learn the positions of a point. We have to learn the position of a point or coordinate of a point first. So over here, come back to this xy plane. In this xy plane we have, in this xy plane, if I'm taking a point over here, any place, let's say I'm taking a point over here. Now, if I'm asking what is the position of this point, so when we are looking for the position of this point, then we'll look for the distance of this point from both the reference line, that is axis, right? So from horizontal line, how much distance this one, right? From vertical line also, how much distance this is. This is nothing but the coordinate of this point. So over here you can see that this point, it this much distance from the x-axis. This is the distance from the x-axis, means it is going in which direction? In the direction of y-axis. So distance from x-axis we call as the y component, right? And this is what? A distance from y-axis, that we call as x component or x coordinate of a point. So position of a point from y-axis is over here x, and position of this point from x-axis is nothing but a y. So this x comma y, which I'm writing in like a small bracket, that is only the position of a point. That is only a position of this point, which is talking about how much distance this point is from x-axis, from y-axis, right? So this position of point we call as the coordinate of a point. Means this x comma y is nothing but the coordinate of this point P, or you can say that the position of this point P in xy axis. In what axis? XY axis. Okay, let me know. Is it clear, or is it clear to everyone? Is it clear now? So what exactly the meaning of coordinate, or like a coordinate is nothing but simply you can say a position of a point in XY plane. XY plane is nothing but a horizontal reference line, a vertical reference line, right? 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 Right or not? Right or not? Okay, and with reference of this, how much distance it is from the horizontal one, and how much that point is distant from the vertical line, that is only the coordinate of a point. Okay, so let's see. Like I said, this is the coordinate of this point P. So here I have used this middle, I mean a small bracket. So this small bracket x comma y is nothing but a pair of two number. If I'm writing, okay, this is nothing but a pair of two number. This first one we call as x coordinate. What do we call? X coordinate. And the second one is nothing but y coordinate. What we call? Y coordinate. The first component is x coordinate, the second component is y coordinate, and this x coordinate is nothing but, just try to understand, x coordinate of a point. This is x axis, y axis, we have a point over here. I'm telling that x coordinate of a point means distance. This is x coordinate, like this is only x coordinate, this is x, and this is y. Y. So x coordinate means what? Distance from what? This is distance from what? Y axis. Right. This is what? Distance from y axis. Distance of point from y axis. Right. And y coordinate means what? Distance of point from x axis. Now the another name of x coordinate is abscissa. What? Abscissa. And another name of y coordinate is ordinate. Right. So mostly, like, do not confuse with abscissa and ordinate. Abscissa is nothing but the first component or x coordinate, and y coordinate is nothing but ordinate. And this x comma y we call as coordinate. This one x comma y is nothing but coordinate. Coordinate, right? Coordinate of a point, of a point. So for example, now I hope you understood what the meaning of coordinate, what the meaning of what the meaning of what abscissa, what the meaning of ordinate. So this coordinate of a point is nothing but, you can say in simple language, position of a point. Position of a point in what? XY plane. XY plane. This is x axis, this is y axis. Right. And this plane only we call as XY plane. Now over here we have to now understand few things. This is x-axis, this x dash I'm marking over here, this y, and this one as y dash, and this is a point of intersection of path of this, which is origin. Now if we are moving to the right on number line, if we are moving to the right, it will give us positive 1 2 3 4 5. This is positive. If we are moving to the left of this reference origin, it will give us negative number, -1, -2, -3, and -4, like this. And if we are moving from above this reference point or origin, that will give us again positive 1 2 3 4, and below this origin means upside is positive, means downside will be negative, -1, -2, -3, and -4, and so on. Right. So over here you can find that I think someone joined. So you can find that what you can find over here. You can find that this is OX. If you're looking OX carefully, this is nothing but representing the positive x-axis. This OX is nothing but positive x-axis, right? And this OX prime, I mean OX dash is nothing but negative x-axis, right? And if you see this OY upside, this one is nothing but positive y-axis, y-axis, and below this origin OY prime, OY dash is nothing but negative y-axis. So this is nothing but the axis, x-axis also classified as positive, right of the origin, left of the origin is negative, above origin means positive, below origin is negative, right? So you can find that one more thing, as I said, every point in this xy plane is having two component. First is x component, second is y component, means it's a pair of number. So here origin is also a pair of number, right? So origin is also having two components. How much distance it is from x-axis, how much distance it is from y-axis. As I said, the coordinate of the point means what? How much it is distance from x-axis and how much it is distant from y-axis. Here we got the coordinate of origin is what? 0, comma 0. Coordinate of origin is 0, comma 0. Why? Because the point is on the x-axis, means no distance from x-axis, no distance from y-axis. That's why it is 0, comma 0. If I'm asking what is the coordinate of point 2, comma 3. So 2, comma 3. So what is the coordinate of position of this point? So what we'll look into this? First we'll see, okay, this is x coordinate. Hence we have to move on x-axis how much unit? 2 unit. So we'll start from origin. We have to move 2 unit over here. Okay. Now on y-axis we have 3 unit. Means from this point we reached up to here from horizontal directions. On a horizontal axis we have 2 unit, right? And then vertical direction we have 3 unit. Where we end up? We end up over here. This point. This point is only nothing but 2, comma 3. That is the coordinate of this point 2, comma 3. Right? If we are given like the coordinate of any point, let's say we have given 3 comma 3 comma let's say 4. So what does it mean? 3 comma 4 means we have on x direction we have 3 unit. This is what on x direction we have 3 unit. This is what on y direction we have 4 unit. Means starting from origin, on x direction we have to go 3 unit, and on y direction we have to go 4 unit. Means we are over here. Means you can say on x direction we have this much, on y direction we have this much. So this is nothing but 3 comma 4. So this is 3 comma 4. So this distance is nothing but x axis. This distance is nothing but y axis. So x axis first we are writing x component, on x axis this distance, on y axis we have 4 unit. So this is representing this point 3 comma 4. Right. So can you tell me the coordinate of this point then? We have given this x y axis. This is x, this is x dash, this is y dash, and this is 0. And we have given this point. We have given this point. All are at equal distance, right? So we have given this point. Okay. Now I have a point over here. Over here. Can you tell me what is the coordinate of this point? And I have a point over here. This is point A, this is point B, and I have a point Over here also point C. These all numberings are there. Over here this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6. And on above this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. Right. These are the 3 points I have taken A, B, C. Can you tell me what are the coordinates of A, B, and C? As over here, you can see the coordinate of A is nothing but over here. First, we have to look where is the distance. Okay, I mean, this is not drawn to a square, so this is 4 comma 4. And then if you look on this, here on x-axis we have 6 unit, and y-axis we don't have any unit, means because this is on x-axis, so this is a 0. Now if you look for this point, so x is nothing but 3 unit and y is minus 4, so 3 comma minus 4, this one, right? And if you look for b, this is minus 1 on x direction and minus 5 on y direction, means minus 1 comma minus 5 is the coordinate of this. Likewise, for C in x direction minus 5, minus 6, and y direction 1. So this way we can write the coordinate of any points over here. Okay. Okay. So now the coordinate of a point is clear. So now we need to understand the quadrant based on the sign of that. This is very important because if you go for trigonometry, the values of the trigonometric ratios will depend on the quadrant, in which quadrant it is, right? It will be positive, negative, based on that. Based on the coordinate we can deal with the trigonometry. So over here if you find that the x and y axis is dividing the this xy plane into four region, or you can say four sub-region. How many four sub-region? Four sub-region. So this is x-axis, this is y-axis, okay, this is x dash, this is y dash, this is origin. Now you can find that this is divided into four regions. This is one of the region. This is one region, this is another region, this is another region, this is another region. So total we have four regions. So each region is known as nothing but a quadrant because it is the plane is divided into four parts. So each part we call as one out of four is nothing but quadrants, right? So these all are nothing but quadrants, and we are giving the leveling from the first one, right and top, that is the first quadrant. This is the second quadrant, and then in a this is the third quadrant, and this is the fourth quadrant. Okay, so starting from the right of the origin and above the origin, that region is coming as this one we are taking as a reference. This is the first quadrant, and we are moving in a what, anti-clock direction. In like after one we have two, then three, then four. So this is the first quadrant, this is the first quadrant, and this is second quadrant. Then next we have third quadrant, and this is fourth quadrant. So why this is important to learn the quadrant? As I said, trigonometry based on this only. Now you yourself will say the what is the sign of the point in the first quadrant. As we have seen, this is on the right of the origin. We have all the positive number, right? These numbers are positive, right? And above the origin we have positive. So for this region, for this first quadrant, this region, you see this region, the two axes are coming as both as positive. So the quadrant, I mean the coordinate of point over here will be of this form, positive, positive. What form? Positive, positive. And in the second quadrant, if you see the x-axis, this x coordinate is now, we are getting negative over here, right? So the first component is what? X-axis, which is negative. And second component over here is y, which is positive, right? So the quadrant, I mean in a second quadrant, the sign of the coordinate is negative, positive. On the third one, you can say, what is the sign of this? X is minus, minus, very good. And then the fourth one you can say, first one is x, which is positive, second one is y, which is negative. So plus minus. So we are clear with the coordinate, we are clear with the x-axis, we are clear with the y-axis, we are now clear with the quadrant as well as the sign of the points in each quadrant, right? Now let's move to understand what will be the coordinate of a point if it is on a x-axis, if it is on a y-axis, right? Or already we have seen the coordinate of a point on like coordinate of the origin, which is 0 comma 0, right? So now let's say if we have a point over here, I'm marking over here any point. Let's say I'm marking over here this point or this point or this point or over here this point. These all points are on x-axis or not? Tell me. So these all points is on x-axis. Can you tell me what is the coordinate of this point? This is what? 2 comma 0. This is what? 3 comma 0. This is 4 comma 0. And this is what? Minus 3 comma 0. So it means any point on x-axis will have the y coordinate 0, right? Right? So this is the first key point that we need to remember. So any point on what? On x-axis is always of what form? Always of form any number as a x component, but y component always 0. X comma 0. X comma 0, or you can say one more point, sub point, ordinate equals 0 or y is equal to 0, right? Now if I'm taking points on y axis, here I have taken point, here I have taken point, and here I have taken point. Can you tell me what are the coordinate of these points? So what is the coordinate of this? Because see, there is no movement on x direction, so this is 0, and on y axis it is 4 units, so 0 comma 4, 0 comma 2, and this is minus, 0 comma minus 2. So we found that on a y axis the coordinate is of what form? 0 comma y form, or we can say that the abscissa will be 0. Any point on y axis is always of what form? Always of form 0 comma y, and we can say that what we can say, abscissa abscissa equals 0 or x is equal to 0. I hope it is clear to everyone. So now let's talk about the equation of x-axis and y-axis. So as one thing, if I'm asking that we have discussed any point on x-axis, we are getting as y coordinate 0, right? So here we have seen that on x-axis, y coordinate is 0. Now can you tell me, axis is nothing but a line. Line is made up of what? Made up of points, right? So here this point, this point, this point, this infinite numbers of points are there, right? So for all the points, we'll find that will give us the line x dash x, which is nothing but x-axis, so which is nothing but representing what? For all those points, the y coordinate is equal to 0. So we can say that the equation of x-axis is nothing but equation of x-axis. Equation of x-axis means what? Y is equal to 0. Means if it is y is equal to 0, whatever be the x value we are taking, means we have y axis over here and I'm marking it as origin. Okay, y is 0, we are taking different values of x, for different values of x, positive value, we are getting like this kind of infinite numbers, right? And if we are taking different negative value of x, this is also giving us infinite points. This infinite points is nothing but what? Together giving us a line which is x axis over here, right? So For equation of x-axis means what? Y is equal to 0. Likewise, we can say that equation of x-axis, can you tell me then? Equation of y-axis then? Y-axis means what? Equation of y-axis means x is equal to 0. Very good. X is equal to 0. This is not nothing but representing the y-axis. Y-axis. Y-axis means x is equal to 0. X-axis means y is equal to 0. Now, if I'm asking this one, let's say we have x-axis and y-axis. This is y-axis and this is x-axis. This is x-axis. Now, what I'm asking is, let's say we have. I'm just fixing this. I'm fixing this 2, 0. If I'm asking 2, 0, then can you able to write where it is? This is 1, this is 2. So this is representing what? 2, 0, right? Right? 1, 2. Now if I'm asking, let's say instead of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is -1, -2, -3, -4 like this. Now if I'm asking, okay, now you write 2, 1. So you will say what? Where is the 2, 1 then? Then 2, 1 is over here. On x direction we are moving this, y axis is 1. So this is 2, 1, right? Right? If I'm asking write 2, 2, then you will say 2, 2 is over here. If I'm asking 2, 3, you will say this is 2, 3 over here. Likewise, if I'm asking, okay, write 2, -1, you will say this is the 2, -1. 2, -2, okay, this one, right? This one, 2, -2. Likewise, if I'm asking, okay, instead of writing 2, 1, can you write 2, 0.1? Will stay somewhere here, right? Somewhere here, right? So likewise, if we are fixing the first component, if we are fixing the first component, here I fixed this number, right? I fixed this what? X coordinate, right? And only thing I'm changing over here is y coordinate, means that is going to give a kind of bunches of points. If we are connecting this point, we'll get a line. We'll get a line. We'll get a line or not? We'll get a line or not? We'll get a line, right? And now if we find that this line is nothing but at a distance of how much unit? 2 unit, which is nothing but the first component of all these points at a distance of 2 unit from the y-axis. From the y-axis, it is 2 unit, 2 unit, 2 unit. Means the distance of this y-axis and these lines are always equal to 2. It means it is nothing but a equation of line. It is nothing but an equation of line representing all these points, which is nothing but equation of line. This line, which is what? Parallel with the y-axis. So equation of line parallel with what? Y-axis. So for that, what we found? We found that the x is fixed. Means x is nothing but a constant. Fixed means what? Fixed value means what? Constant value. And the value which is varying, that we call as variable, right? So over here x is fixed. So that means because of the x is fixed, because of that reason we are getting a equation of line. So equation of line which is parallel with y-axis, that is nothing but x is equal to what? Constant. So x is equal to any constant, that will give us nothing but what? A line parallel with y-axis. This is x is equal to 2 line. This is x is equal to 2 line. So it means a line parallel with y-axis at a distance of 2 units from the y-axis. So if we are writing x is equal to 5, so that will represent a line passing through like 3, this is 4, and this is 5. That will represent a line parallel with y-axis at a distance of 5 units from a y-axis. Right? I hope it is clear, right? So x is constant means what? Equation of line parallel with y-axis. Likewise, if I'm asking what is the equation of line if it is parallel with x-axis? equation of line equation of line parallel with x-axis. What will be the answer? What will be the answer? You will say it is constant in y. Y is constant, right? Right? So let's say I'm drawing a x and y axis. This is x axis. This is y axis, and I'm drawing a line at y is equal to, let's say this is 3, and I'm drawing a line passing through what? 3. So on this line, if you see, every point will have y coordinate which is fixed, right? So here also this is a 3 unit, means this is 1 comma 3, this is 2 comma 3, this is 3 comma 3, this is 5 comma 3, right? So the y coordinate is fixed, means y is constant, that is representing a line parallel with x axis. And if it is plus 3 means above x axis, if it is minus 3 means below x axis. So if I'm asking what is the equation of this, y is equal to minus 2, so that will represent this line passing through minus 2, right? This is representing what? X is equal to, this is representing y is equal to minus 2, right? Is it clear? Is it clear? Is this clear? Distance formula, right? So I hope you people have gone through the derivation of distance formula. Have you gone through the distance formula derivation? Okay. So distance formula. Distance formula. Till now we were talking about the point position in a plane, coordinate of a point. Coordinate of a point means position of a point in a plane, in a xy plane or Cartesian plane. Now suppose we have given 2 points in a plane. Let's say this is x-axis and this is y-axis. Now if I'm writing any point over here, then you are telling that okay, we are knowing that okay, this point is at a distance of x-axis some unit, at a distance of y-axis some unit, right? Now suppose instead of this one point we have another point also there. If we want to know what is the distance between these 2 points, right? What is the distance between these 2 points? So for finding the distance of these 2 points, we'll go with the distance formula. That is what we are going to discuss now. So for that, as I said, every point has two components, x component and y component, or you can say x coordinate, y coordinate. So it is also having x component, y component, and it is also having x component, y component, right? So this is A point, this is B point. If I'm writing x comma y, then it is very difficult to differentiate between these 2 points. You are telling this is also x comma y, this is also x comma y. To differentiate that in general, because we don't know exact point. Just a moment. I need to receive the order. Okay. So to differentiate that, we'll use what subscript means. We'll write this as, let's say, x subscript 1, y subscript 1. That only we are writing okay x1 y1, and this is labeled as x subscript 2 y subscript 2. So this is what x2 y2 and x1 y1, these are the two different points whose coordinate we have given. We want to find the distance between these 2 points, these two points. So how we can come up with this, any like the formula that we are using, that you have to understand. You have the idea of the triangles, right angle triangles, right? As we have a prior information about the coordinate, means what? The coordinate of A means this one, distance from the x axis, which is nothing but y1. So this is representing y1, and this is representing what? X1. The same way here we have, this is y2, and this is what? This is what? X2. right? This is what? X2. Okay, this is X2. This is X2. This is Y2. Now we can find that here this is intersecting at 90 degrees. So this is forming a right angle triangle. So A, B, let's say this mark as C, this is at D, and this is at E. So you can find that here to here is what? X1. Here to here is total is Y1, but here to here is how much? Y2. And total here to here is how much? X2. And here to here is X1, means you can find that this is nothing but forming what? Total here to here is X1, here to here is, I mean, here to here is X2, and here to here is X1 as opposite side of rectangle are equal. So can we say that this is nothing but X2 minus X1? Can we say that? And the same way, we can say that from here to here is nothing but Y1, but E to B is Y2, and this is opposite side of rectangle. So this one is Y2, right? So this much is nothing but how much then? This we can say as Y1 minus of Y2. This is Y1 minus Y2. Now in this triangle ACB, AC is equal to Y1 minus Y2 and BC is equal to X2 minus X1, right? Right or not? Right or not? Right or not? So over here you can say that in right angle triangle, in triangle ABC, AB is hypotenuse. AB is hypotenuse. So AB square is equal to base square plus perpendicular square. That is nothing but Pythagoras theorem, right? So AC square plus of BC square. Right or not? Tell me. Tell me. So with this, you can say that AB is equal to what? AB is equal to a square root of AC. AC we have how much? Y1 minus Y2. So Y1 minus of Y2 is square plus BC is what? X2 minus X1. X2 minus X1. I mean X1 whole square, right? So this is what we have. This particular thing only we are calling it as distance formula, or here y1 minus y2, instead of that you can write it as y2 minus y1 also, because if you are taking negatives common and a square is also, it will give us the positive, right? So here y1 minus y2, if we are writing minus taken common, so y2 minus y1, we have a square of this. So if we are squaring both sides, so negative square will become positive, so this will give us y2 minus of y1 square. So this one is nothing but x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. The square root of that is nothing but the length of the distance between the two point AB. This is only we call as distance formula. What we call? Distance formula. So this is the way we are deriving this formula, right? Right? And the thing that you have to just understand, the difference of x component, take a square of that, then find the difference of the y component of the 2 points, take a square of that, add those two, and take a square root of that particular thing. So let's say I'm taking an example. Suppose we have given a point A. Always coordinate of a point written like this. Name of the point will generally use the capital letter. What will use? Capital letter for naming of a point. Use capital letter, or capital letter is used for naming of the coordinate. Capital letter is used to write the name of a point, name of a coordinate. So here 2 comma 5 distance formula, just check it once what I said. So the 2 point taken, so first take perpendicular from the point on x-axis as well as y-axis. So this one is indicating y1, y coordinate. This one is indicating x1 because x component. Same way over here. Y2 means this one is representing y2 and x2 coordinate means distance from y-axis. This total is x2. Here to here is x2. So we got this right angle triangle ABC. So for this right angle triangle, this length here to here, let me choose any different color. Any different color. Okay. So this one, BC, this is nothing but x2 minus x1, right? And this one is AC, which is nothing but y2 minus y1, right? So we are looking for this length. We are looking for what length? We are looking for AB length. So using Pythagoras theorem in this triangle ABC, AB square is equal to BC square plus AC square, and a square goes to root over here, and AC is nothing but this one, which is y1 minus y2. So y1 minus y2 is square, and BC is nothing but x2 minus x1. So x2 minus x1 is square. This y1 minus y2 we can write as y2 minus y1 also because of this, right? So with this we can say that x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square is nothing but the distance formula, distance between the 2 points. Either you write first x1 y1, or in textbook generally we'll write it as x1 minus x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square over root. This also true. Or if some of you are writing like, okay, instead of this, can we write it as x1 minus x2 square and y1 minus y2 square? This is also correct, right? Because we are finding the difference of the two coordinate, x coordinate and y coordinate, and then a square we are adding. So simply, in general, this is the formula which we are writing, but actually distance between 2 points means what? Distance between 2 points equals what? A square root of difference of x x coordinate a square plus difference of y coordinate, difference of y coordinate, right? So now can you tell me, this is a point A we have, and we have a point B which is written as minus of 5 comma 2. Can you find the difference between, I mean distance between these 2 points A and B? So in order to find the distance between the given point, you already know the formula, that is difference of x coordinate and y coordinate. So over here we have given A, which is 2 comma 5, B, which is minus 5 comma 2, right? So if you want to understand in a better way, so what you need to do is first, like without using any formula, or like without going directly, just try to split it. This is the first number, means let's say this is x1, which is 2 over here, and from this you can say y1 is what, then 5, and this is x2, which is minus 5, and y2, which is 2. So the distance between A and B is given by what formula? A square root difference between x and y. I mean x and x. So what is the difference between this? So you can say x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. This is the formula we have. And you have noted this value x1, x2, y1, y2 from the given points. So you just need to put it into the formula. So x2 is what? Minus 5, and then minus what is x1? 2 whole square plus y2 is 2 minus y1 is 5 square, right? Right? Right or not? Right or not? So now here this is simple integers difference. Minus 2 minus 5 is minus 7 square, plus 2 minus 5 means minus 3 square, right? A square of negative number is positive, so minus 7 square is plus 49, minus 3 square means plus 9. So this is equal to minus of 49 plus 9 is how much? 58, right? Right? So the distance between A and B is equal to 58 square root, right? You people also told the same, but where is the answer then? Okay, that's correct. So you should be confident now, right? Okay. So now over here I asked this 0, comma 3, 5, 7, comma 2. So directly you understood now difference of x means 0, comma 7. I mean 0, 7 square plus 3, 2 difference square. So this is 7 square and this is 1 square. So this equal 49 plus 1, which is root 50. But root 50 can be written as the product of a square number 25 and 2. So this is nothing but 25 into 2 square root. So you can take out the square root of 5 or 25, which is 5, and we left with root 2 inside. So distance of this 2 point is 5 root 2. Right? Right? Right. Very good. Now this one I asked distance from origin. So origin coordinate is 0, comma 0. Origin coordinate is 0, comma 0, and the point that we have minus 2, comma 7. Right? Right? So we want to find the distance of these two. Distance of these two. It means what? We have to find the square root of difference of this plus 0 minus 7 square. Now this is minus minus plus, so this is plus 2 square plus minus 7 square root of this. So you'll get 44 over here, 49 means root of 53, right? So over here in general way, like I ask over here, what is the distance of a point from origin? So if you are asking distance of a point from origin in general way, like distance of any 2 point, as I said, x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square and root of that. So distance from origin of a point, from origin of a point. So that is any point we have given. Let's say we have given x comma y, and we want the distance of that point from what? From origin. From what? From origin. So we can directly use this derived result. So let's say I'm finding a point x comma y, its distance from origin. So origin is x 0, comma 0. So the distance of this from origin, let's say this is a point P, and origin is denoted by O. So the distance of a point P from O, we write it as OP, and which is equal to what? Under root of x minus 0 square plus y minus of 0 whole square. So x minus 0 is nothing but x square and y minus 0 is y square. So this is a square root of x square plus y square. So this is the formula we'll use for distance of a point from origin. Distance of a point from origin is nothing but a square root of the x component plus a square of a y component. Right? Right? Right. So this last question practice, and then we'll We'll discuss the section formula and other things tomorrow. Okay. So let's try to find solve this question. Very common questions. Let's say I'm saying that a point 3 comma y is equidistant from A, which is given as 5 comma 3, and B, which is given as 3 comma 7. So find the value of y. Find the value of y. Can you solve this? So here in this question we have given this point 3 comma y is equidistant from A and B. Then we need to find the value of this y. Equidistance means what? At equal distance. So let's say this point is P. So P is 3 comma y, and this is equal distance from A and B, means we have to go for finding PA, and we need to go for finding PB, I mean distance of point P with B, and both are equal. As they said, they are at equal distance, means equidistant. So with the given coordinate of A, which is 5 comma 3, and B, which is what? Which is 3 comma 7. If we are looking for the value of PA, which is nothing but a square root of 3 minus 5 square plus y coordinate y minus 3 square is equal PB, means 3 minus 3, I mean a square root of 3 minus 3 square plus y minus 7 square, y minus of 7 square. Now a square root is on both sides, so by squaring both sides, we'll get that this root will be cancelled on both of the side. So we're left with only what? 3 minus, I mean whatever be inside of the root, which is 3 minus 5, which is minus 2 square, and next one is y minus 3 whole square, and on the right side 3 minus 3 is 0 square plus y minus of 7 square. Now minus 2 square means 4, and y minus 3 whole square you can split by using the identity y square plus 3 square minus of 2 into y into 3, and on the right 0 square means 0, you have to just write 0 plus y minus 7 square means y square plus 7 square minus of 2 times of y into 7. So once you simplify this, you will find that 4 plus y square, this is 9 minus 6y, and on the right side y square plus 49 minus of what? 14y. If you find that this y square is in left and y square is in right, can be cancelled, because if you are shifting this to this side, plus y square minus y square will become 0, right? Right. So now we left with left side as 9 plus 4, 13 minus 6y, and right side 49 minus of 14y, which is a linear equation in one variable. So bring variable one side and constant other side. So shift this to the left. We'll get it as 14y minus 6y is equal 49 minus 13. So here it will be 8y, and here this will be how much? 6 and 3. So 36. So y value is equal to what then? Y is equal 36 by 8. You can go and cancel this. After cancelling, we'll get 2 and 9. So y value is equal to, you can say 4.5. So I hope it is clear, right? This is very common questions. Like in every exam, most of the time, 3 mark question in CBSE there are things. And this is a very common question. So most probably this question can be asked. Okay. So I hope it is clear to everyone.